Before we start with the main video, I would like to inform you, our viewers, that this video was actually planned soon after the Union Budget 2024-2025 was presented in the Parliament. However, on the day we were planning to release the video, our YouTube channel got hacked. Thanks to YouTube's support team, we were able to retrieve our channel with all the content in place. Although this video may not be timely, but we are releasing it anyway because we think this video has a lot of information, especially for the people of Northeast. So take a look and share your thoughts in the comment section. The Union Budget has come and gone, and anyone from the Northeast who did not even realize it can be forgiven. Why? Because Assam and Sikkim were mentioned once in the budget speech, and the other states did not even find a mention. And no, it is not as if Assam and Sikkim got anything. Words? Sure. Assurances? Absolutely. Any other actual allocation? No.
Assam grapples with floods every year by the Brahmaputra river and its tributaries originating outside India. We will provide assistance to Assam for flood management and related projects. Recently, Sikkim witnessed devastating flash floods and landslides that wreaked havoc across the state. Our government will provide assistance.
The government should have called this the how to please your political friends in Andhra Pradesh and Bihar budget, because well, Bihar has floods, so it needs money. And of course, if you think Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur have floods, you are just an anti-national. I'm Kalyan Dev, and in this episode of Decoded, we will get a little nerdy. But the reason is quite simple. There is no region that gets as ignored financially as the Northeast, and at EastMojo, we want this to change. So let us look at what the budget did not do for the Northeast. For months.
The village of Assam in the 75th Independence Day.
It is the same every year, is it not? The moment someone says budget, the first and the most common question that comes to our mind is, has the income tax bracket changed? Because for some, that is the be-all and end-all of the union budget. And of course, given that a lot of us earn salaries, it is a fair question to ask. But the union budget is a lot more than just income tax slabs, right? And even if I were to talk about the income tax slab, the truth is that in the Northeast, it hardly makes much of a difference. Here is why. According to a starred question answered in the Lok Sabha in July 2023, only 1.6%, I repeat, only 1.6% of the population in India paid income tax. Now in the Northeast, Assam has the highest number of income taxpayers, which is understandable since it is the most populous state and has the largest economy in the Northeast. But even here, the number of taxpayers does not even get close to 10 lakh, even though the state population is well over 3 crore. In fact, we combine the entire Northeast, we barely have 10 lakh taxpayers. When you see this, it becomes clear that over 97% are not paying income tax in the Northeast across all states. So the income tax slabs barely matter to the 3% of the Northeast. Again, not my numbers, government data. For the Northeast, there is something else in the union budget that should be the focus, and that brings us to chapter 2. Okay, so this is the chapter where we get little nerdy. Every union budget has two important components, among other things: allocation for the welfare and upliftment of the scheduled castes and allocation for the welfare and upliftment of the scheduled tribes. Since the Northeast has a mostly indigenous population, we will focus on the scheduled tribe allocations. There was a 1.3% for STs in allocations compared to the interim budget which came out in February this year. However, the full budget reveals the projection for the ST budgets and the budgetary challenges that the communities have to deal with not only in this financial year but in the following 4 years. And this is where the issues lie, and trust me, there are plenty of issues. One of the most crucial aspects for fund allocation for SC or ST is the money that goes in to targeted schemes or schemes that directly benefit the marginalized communities. So for example, money going to say build highways will benefit all people including SC and ST. A scheme like post-matric scholarship for ST students will directly benefit them. And this is where we are taking the help of the National Campaign on Dalit Human Rights, who have for decades followed this topic and have prepared a detailed report on this, link to which is in the description. Now the proportion of targeted schemes is 83 for both SC and ST budget, with 87,921.86 crore rupees, that is 30% allocated for targeted schemes. But worryingly, about 2,02,479.35 crore rupees, or the rest of 70%, is allocated for non-targeted schemes, which are diverted away from the SC-ST rights at the inception itself. Just to make it clear, there are de facto general schemes with a mask of SC or ST budget schemes. They do not qualify as ST or SC schemes that benefit the communities intended to do so. This year's budget saw systematic depreciation of dozens of crucial schemes by starving them of necessary funds. For example, schemes like Post-Matric Scholarship, University Grants Commission or UGC, Rehabilitation of Bonded Labour, Self-Employment of Safai Karmacharis, National Fellowship for SC, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, IGNOU Open University, grants to voluntary organization, land records modernization, etc., which are few of the direct benefiting schemes, are denied necessary funds for SC and ST development. The trend of non-targeted allocations both continues unabatedly and has been the case for years now. Good schemes are getting starved and irrelevant schemes allocation keeps increasing. This year, only 45 schemes out of 281 for scheduled tribes have the potential to give direct benefits, while the rest of them are general in nature. Moreover, their outcomes do not spell any kind of clear roadmap for sustainable development for SC and ST communities. Even when it seems that there are positives, a deeper investigation takes away any cause of happiness. Take education, for example. The Indian government acknowledged in Parliament in 2023 that over 19,000 students from marginalized communities dropped out of central universities and elite public institutions over 5 years. To address this, the government is implementing fee reduction, institute establishment scholarships, and priority access to national level scholarships. In this union budget 2024-25, the allocation post-matric scholarship for the scheduled tribe is 2,374.15 crore rupees, which is an increase from 1,970.77 crore rupees in 2023-24. Now, even though there is an allocation increase of 2.9% under the allocation for welfare of scheduled tribe by the Ministry of Higher Education, none of the schemes featured in AWST are targeted for education of ST students. For example, the scheme grants to central universities or CSUs have been allocated 536 crore rupees under AWST. The University Grants Commission or UGC allocating 225 crore rupees under AWST, so on and so forth. Even though there has been an increase in the budget for STs under the Department of Higher Education, many of these schemes are not targeted towards the development of ST students. I mean, funding for UGC helps every student, not just STs, right? All these schemes will make a total of 1,750 crore rupees for STs and have been placed erroneously as ST allocations, even they did not have any financial flows for the direct welfare of the development of the STs. Another important scholarship for ST students who want to achieve their higher education abroad is called the National Overseas Scholarship or NOS, which is a central sector scheme for master degree or PhD courses. The 3-year trend allocation of the NOS for the STs in the financial year 2022-23 is 4 crore rupees, 2023-24 is 4 crore rupees, and this financial year is 6 crore rupees respectively, which seems to be a meager amount to cater to the emerging demand of the communities. Similarly, the National Fellowship and Scholarship for Higher Education of ST students has an allocation of 165 crore rupees in this fiscal year. The allocation for the PM Research Fellowship under AWST is 30 crore rupees, which was 34 crore rupees in the last financial year. It is disheartening to see that such good schemes are getting meager amounts as compared to non-targeted schemes like grants to central universities, UGC and PM Usha, PM USP, etc. And before we end this chapter, we must address how the women from indigenous communities have simply been left to fend for themselves in this union budget. The Finance Minister has time and again emphasized on empowering women through entrepreneurship or establishing larger producer enterprises. That said, The allocation for ST women under the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises is only 42.17 crore rupees for ST women, which is a shame given how entrepreneurial Northeast women can be given the right avenues. According to gender budget statements tabled in Parliament, the budget for 100% women-specific programs, Part A, was 1,12,396.15 crore rupees in budget estimate of 2024-25. It was 1,99,762.29 crore rupees in Part B and 15,000 crore rupees in Part C. And what are these parts? This financial year gender budget statement is presented in three parts. Part A constitutes schemes in which 100% of provision is for women. Part B reflects schemes where the allocations for women constitute at least 30% of the provision, and Part C constitutes schemes below 30% of provision. If we specifically look at the allocation for Adivasi women in both Part A and B, it is appalling. In Part A, the allocation is 3,134.19 crore rupees for Adivasi women. In Part B, allocation for Adivasi women is 5,213.41 crore rupees. Part C has only one scheme with an allocation of 226.18 crore rupees. These allocations are meager, reflecting the lack of priority given to Dalit and Adivasi women. The Union Budget 2024-25 allocates only 0.59% for tribal women from the total eligible centrally sponsored schemes or CSS and central sector schemes or CS. Given the huge demand for scholarships, particularly for girl students, the budget for the post-matric scholarship or PMS scheme too is highly inadequate at just 712.25 crore rupees for ST girls. So next time you wonder why we do not have so many women students among STs studying at the top level, maybe consider. You know that feeling when you like someone and are just happy that they acknowledged you? Yes, been there, felt that. But the reason that I am saying this is because of one person in particular. Sikkim MP Indrahang Subba, who is now in his second tenure as MP, Sibba is not from the BJP. He is from SKM, which is an ally of the BJP. But perhaps Subba just forgot that. Just after the budget, Subba thanked the FM for acknowledging Sikkim's problems with flood. No, he did not thank her for actually allocating any money. He thanked her because she mentioned Sikkim. If one can be happy for just being mentioned to remain in the good books of the government, especially after what the state went through in the recent past, just what can we expect? SKM has just received the mother of all mandates in Sikkim. They do not need the BJP at all in the state, and at the centre, Subba must not forget that he is representing the Sikkimis, not just his party. He should have demanded more attention for his state from the FM. He should have screamed at the way his state was left to fend for itself, about the tragic death of Prema Rachungpa, about the irreparable damage Sikkim suffered and the death of hundreds. But no, he focused more on ensuring his seat and his proximity to the BJP. Contrasting this to Manipur MP Bimola Khojam, who called out how the BJP government had completely forgotten about Manipur. Imagine a state that has suffered so much, first because of violence and then because of floods. No money for thousands displaced in Manipur, and at least the MP can do is to call it out, right? Dear leaders, call out how the STs of Northeast are being cheated of what is rightly theirs. Call out how we have been systematically omitted from the union budget. Call out how hundreds have died in natural calamities, yet we have no idea what happens next year. Meghalaya MPs Saleng Sangma and Ricky Singkhong must raise the issue of the pitiful condition of state schools. Nagaland MP must raise the matter of severe lack of employment in eastern Nagaland and the issues of addiction in the state. Assam MPs must talk about how promises made by the BJP are yet to reach the people. Tripura MPs must ask what progress has been made after the signing of the Tiprasa Accord. You are there to make us heard and not to make your life more comfortable. Do that so that next year we do not have to make a video like this.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.